All right, ladies, it's Alex from mindfulattraction.org. I don't know if you guys can hear me because. All right, ladies, it's Alex from mindfulattraction.org. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I would like to see somebody can hear me right now. I doubt anyone can hear me. I think this says that it's that no one's going to be able to hear me. So I want to see somebody tell me that I'm not just talking to myself. Please let me know I'm not just talking to myself. All right, because if I am, I'm going to end it right now. Okay, so I am seeing some people in. Give me a second. Somebody write before I start the video. All right. I'm not starting until somebody tells me this is good. I swear to God, I'll close it. All right, nobody's gonna tell me. No commenting. Come on. Oh, there you go. All right, good. Okay. So, okay, good. I'm gonna start threatening closing the channel just to get my way. I'm gonna start doing that. I'm like, yo, guys, subscribe, or else I'm closing the channel. All right. So, by the way, this is gonna be like I'm gonna be doing a podcast right now, recording it. So, I'm gonna leave the link to my podcast so you guys can check out the main page. And then what I'm gonna do after that is literally start the podcast. Literally start off the intro like the podcast, and you guys can see me. Let me get the link right now so I can put you guys, because I know you guys are gonna check it out, and actually, subscribe to my podcast. I know you guys will. You guys will not disappoint me, right? So, okay. Give me a second. I'm finding it right now. Un momento, por favor. 1 second. I'm posting the link to the podcast so you guys could check it out once the podcast once this video is done, so you guys can check it out. All right, here it is. I'm putting it in the description right now. 1 second. Okay, all right. So let me start it off right now. Let me cue it up. You know what I'm saying? Cue this up, and we get started. All right, 1 second. So, all right, let me see. Okay, so, oops, fucked it up. 1 second. All right. Hey, this is Alex from Mindful Attraction. This is the Mindful Attraction podcast. And today we're going to be talking about how to achieve your goals. All right. This is going to be something that's something that I've used, and one of the concepts that was the most transforming for me, and something that enabled me to actually come up with this podcast and this YouTube channel and everything in general. What I'm doing, it came because of the things that I'm going to talk about today. And this is something that I know that you guys, if you guys apply this to anything in your life, you guys could potentially be one of the best if you just apply this one tactic that I'm going to be teaching you guys. 1 second. With that being said, this is something you guys are gonna have to check out and use on your own. I'm not gonna tell you that it works, but what I'm gonna tell you is that it worked with me. All right, it definitely worked with me. And this is, for example, the first time I started using this tactic was when I started playing basketball. When I wanted to get good at playing basketball, I always sucked at playing basketball. So I became obsessed with wanting to get good. Now, mind you, in the past, I used to want to be good at basketball, but I never really began to visualize myself how I wanted to play basketball. So then I began to have a vision of how I wanted to play. Now, mind you, the reason why I began to have that vision in my mind, when I mean a vision, I don't mean like a spiritual vision. I mean like just an obsession. You know, when you want to go to a party and your parents don't let you, so as a result, you keep thinking about that party. You keep thinking about that party. You keep thinking about the good time you're going to have. That's the obsession that I'm talking about. You see, that's the obsession that you just cannot stop thinking about it. Now, in this case, it was I couldn't stop thinking about being a good shooter. I just kept imagining myself being able to shoot from 30 feet away, being able to shoot over anyone. And so it became an obsession. Now, what occurred because of that is that it gave me the motivation and the energy to actually want to practice, because I was just obsessed about it. It didn't take me any effort. And the funny thing is that the distance between the gym didn't really matter. Like I was like 5 miles away from the gym, but it really didn't matter because it was just an obsession. It's kind of like when you love someone, the distance to a certain point doesn't matter because you just want to be with the person. So your obsession removes any barrier. Your obsession removes any potential pain that you may experience on your way to your journey, on your way to your goal, simply because you have an obsession that it becomes pain if you're not enjoying that activity that you are passionate about. You see? So it really went down to becoming obsessed about something. Now, a lot of people are obsessed about things. They're obsessed about the internet. They're obsessed about people and all that sort of stuff. But for the most part, people are obsessed about the wrong things that are counterproductive. They're obsessed about Facebook. I'm not saying anything wrong with that, but when that becomes your primary obsession, then you're going to get a lot of mediocre results. You're going to go through life without being skilled, without being valuable as an individual. So a lot of people are successful because they just happen to become obsessed about the right niche. They just happen to become obsessed about playing basketball, and as a result, they became an NBA player. They just happen to become obsessed with investing from an early childhood. So as a result, they grew up and became great investors. People who become obsessed about a skill set that's needed will almost inevitably succeed. It's not about the person's worth or about the person's intelligence. It's simply as to where were they obsessed. Where did they obsess about? For example, if you're a basketball player, you could be obsessed about basketball, but then there is a primary obsession in basketball, like something that you are more proud of. For example, you have basketball players who are proud of their handles. You have basketball players who are proud of how high they jump. So as a result, because they're proud of and they are obsessed about a certain aspect of the game, that becomes their primary strength. You see, so a lot of people become obsessed with wanting to get a career, but they're not particularly obsessed about specific area in the career that will make them stand apart. If you obsess about a specific area that most people are not focusing on, you will inevitably be successful. It's not about how skilled you are. It's simply, are you obsessed about the right things and obsessed about mastering and practicing the fundamentals that's required to become the best at that skill set, at that particular skill set. You see? So that's how it's done. All right, so let me, that's not how it's done, but I'm just giving you guys a runaround of how it's done. So then I began to just see myself playing basketball, and on my way to the train, I would just see myself thinking and playing basketball, and that gave me the excitement. And so what started happening was I began practicing the fundamentals, which was shooting with one hand, 2 feet away for 20 minutes, and then shooting with two hands, and then going back, and then taking a step back after 10 shots. I kept doing that every single day. And I was pretty much obsessed about that one drill because it was fun for me. It was really fun. And so I didn't really see it as work, but for most people who saw me practicing, they were like, dude, how are you able to practice that? Isn't that boring? But for me, it wasn't. No, dude, it's just fun. Like, because I know what happens when you get good at that, you become a good shooter automatically. And slowly but surely, I wasn't good, but I had games where I was really good and games where I really sucked. And then there was one moment where everything started clicking. Like, that one moment is when things just begin to skyrocket. And there's a moment when you don't improve. It looks like you're not improving, but you're just laying foundations. And those are the moments when you doubt yourself, the moments when you just have to close your eyes and believe in the fundamentals of what you're practicing. And that's what happened with me. It was frustrating because I said to myself, I'm practicing the right moves. I'm practicing exactly how I'm supposed to practice. And I'm not getting the same results. What you have to do is just stick to it and be persistent and become obsessed and say to yourself, you know what? I am not going to stop until I make this happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty much becoming obsessed about making it happen, right? And that's what happened.